welcome to this week's Fit Body Short. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about intuitive eating, what intuitive eating is, and kind of what the misconception about intuitive eating is, and how to actually earn intuitive eating, because I do believe that intuitive eating is an earned behavior. And I'm going to start by talking to you guys about like what exactly is intuitive eating. I think that people think intuitive eating is like listening to your body. It's kind of a place of like flow and like you're eating the right things. Your body is like responding to the food you're eating. There's no like overthinking it, and that you're just kind of eating what feels natural to you. And that essentially is what intuitive eating is. But the goals that people have isn't always going to be in line with intuitively eating what we want to eat. And here's the problem is that we intuitively eat what we have learned to eat over time. So in the analogy that I always give a lot of people is like, if you give a kid a donut every morning for breakfast, it's the time he was 2 or 3 years old, every single morning for breakfast, he's going to want that donut. And then if one day, he goes to his friend's house and the friend's mom cooks him eggs and spinach, he's going to be like, where's the donut? He's not intuitively inclined to eat those foods. And it's the same thing with us. We intuitively eat what we are training our bodies to eat. Now, what we are intuitively eating is also creating a side effect, aka how we look, how we feel, how we perform. And a lot of us aren't looking and feeling and performing the way that we want to. And so in order to get those changes to happen, we have to be unintuitive. We have to go against what we are currently doing and learn how to create something different. Now, it doesn't mean that we're ignoring our taste preferences, right? We might crave sweet things more than we crave salty things. We might like, hot foods more than cold foods. Those are all intuitively listening to your preferences. However, you are also going to have to take some time to unintuitively walk away from a lot of the things that you're using to fill those voids, to fill those flavors, to fill those taste profiles. And this is where intuitive eating is something that I believe is earned. What I do think is really cool is that we can change our intuition for foods, and myself included. So when I was growing up, I ate a very standardized American diet. I've got an Italian family. We ate a lot of big meals, a lot of heavy meals, a lot of home cooked, like very comfort food based dishes. And I didn't eat a lot of fresh foods. And as I grew into it being an adult and I started to learn about nutrition, I changed all that. And it took some time, but I intuitively crave very different things than I did when I was 18 or 19 years old. I eat very different than I did then. And I even crave things differently now than I did 5 or 6 years ago because I've trained my body in a different way. So in order to do this, like I said, you have to be a little bit unintuitive. Now, this is where I do believe that learning how to build balanced meals, learning what macronutrient content you should be intaking to get the best look, feel, and performance in the gym will help you guys be more intuitive at choosing the right things. Because when you start to actually unintuitively build meals that are hitting your macros, that are working towards your goals, that are optimizing how you look and feel, your body is getting more of the nutrients it needs, and it's going to start to crave those nutrients. And you're going to start to forget those other things that you used to be filling those voids with. You're going to start filling them with the right things. And so when you start to teach yourself how to be a little bit unintuitive over time, you're going to start to crave those things. I crave things now that I would have never craved as a child. I wake up every morning looking forward to my bowl of oatmeal. I did not touch oatmeal until I was well into my 20s. So there's a lot of things that people don't realize that they can change. So when it comes to intuitive eating, remind yourself that intuitive eating is a learned skill. And that if you guys are struggling to look, feel, and perform your best, you're likely not eating the right things to achieve those things. And in order for you to achieve those things, you are going to have to walk away a little bit from your intuition of what you're currently doing. However, it doesn't mean ignoring the things you like. It just means retraining your body to look for those flavor profiles in different foods in different amounts. And once you do that, the goal really is you should never have to rely on a macro calculator, on a food journal, on a meal plate to do those things. You should be able to intuitively choose meals that are a little bit better for your macronutrient profile that you need. The second piece of intuitive eating that I think is honestly something that people need to honor more often is intuitively listening to our body, our hunger, and our satiety cues. I think we are very conditioned to ignore those things, and they are influenced by so many other things that are going on. Once again, intuitive eating is a learned skill here as well, because a lot of people might get cravings and hunger but it might not actually be food that they're looking for. A lot of us live a very stressed out life. We're constantly on the go and we're constantly being stressed out by things. And that is going to trigger hunger and cravings. Same thing with lack of sleep. Often will trigger hunger, cravings, and overeating because we're looking for energy. Our body needs sleep and we're looking for the fastest way to get energy, which is going to be food. So once again, intuitive eating from that perspective is earned in that you might need to start learning how to take better care of your stress levels and to get more sleep in so that you are not intuitively going to be looking for fast sources of energy from your food, causing you to overeat. And this is where intuitive eating is a lifestyle change. But on the second piece of that, I think people often ignore those cravings because of the bullshit that they're being fed from like social media. I was that person. I wanted a cookie, but I was telling myself that I can't eat cookies because they're not paleo. And so I would have a couple of almonds, and then the couple of almonds would turn into a few more almonds. And then that wasn't really fitting the sweet treat. So I would, do some more almonds with cocoa powder on them. So realize that the main focus here is that you have to realize that we're also listening to our intuition. What do we actually need? So to recap this short little episode here, intuitive eating is a earned skill. We need to be training our bodies to eat the right things, and that will make us more intuitive at choosing those things. And the second piece of intuitive eating is learning to listen to your hunger and your satiety cues, but also recognizing that there are also other factors that are going to affect those things. And it might not be nutrition that we need. Sometimes it is actually just rest or sleep. So if you want to be eating intuitive, you have to be a little bit unintuitive to start.